the manager of sponsored student services here at Missouri S&T, or the Missouri University of Science and Technology. I'm joined by two of my colleagues.
My name is Salih Qaisi. I'm the president of Saudi Student Association at Missouri Science and Technology. I'm also PhD student in Geology and Geophysics program.
And hi everyone, my name is Jody Hazekamp, and I'm the program manager of international recruitment here at S&T. So my job is to help new students like yourself through the application process and answer any questions that you might have about S&T. So first we're going to give you a little bit of background on our university. So Missouri University of Science and Technology is known internationally for our engineering, science, and technology programs. So we're a very strong engineering school. Over 80% of our student population are in engineering or science programs. We have over 97 different degree programs. So with that being said, our business programs, biology, psychology, those type of programs are also very strong, but we are absolutely a STEM-focused university. A little bit of history about our university is we were founded in 1870, so we have a very long history. We were originally founded as the University of Missouri School of Mines and Metallurgy. Then in 1964, we changed our name to University of Missouri-Rolla, our UMR, and expanded our curriculum and research mission. And then most recently, we became Missouri University of Science and Technology, or Missouri S&T, to really emphasize our STEM-focused mission on science, technology, engineering, and math.
So here you can see some of our rankings. We are the #2 value-added public university in the United States. And what that means is, essentially the amount of tuition that you pay, and then the average starting salary for our graduates, kind of that equation means that coming to S&T is a really great investment. We are ranked the #3 engineering school in the United States, so we have really fantastic engineering programs. We're ranked #15 for career services, so we have an office here on campus that will actually kind of help students prepare for interviews, prepare for business dinners, prepare, etiquette classes, things like that. But then they also help students throughout their career. If they're ever looking for a new job, or, they can kind of help students make career connections, even, long after they graduate from S&T. And then we're the #15 smartest public college. So what that means is that the students who are coming to S&T are really, really good students. We have rigorous academic programs, and so the students who come need to be very intelligent to be able to succeed. So you can see here by this ranking that the students who attend our school are very, very, very smart. So you can see here also that we are one of America's technological research universities. So I believe there's 15 or 16, and this is saying that to be categorized as a technological research university, you have to have really, really strong academic programs. So you can see here that, we are kind of on the same caliber school as the Colorado School of Mines, Georgia Tech, MIT, things like that. We have really amazing labs here on campus that Salah may be able to talk about later on. But our students, both undergraduate and graduate students, are able to do hands-on research, which is unique to S&T.
Okay, Rolla, Missouri is one of the best city for students, actually, because I could say it's an academic town, and it has a lot of majors here at this university. So this city actually does support families and support also single students as well. So it's very good environment for people to live in, and I think it's also very good motivation for like students to be more successful in their life. So Rolla as a city, it's a very safe city. It's it has a lot of lakes you could go to just to have fun and to see or to do your activity beside your job as a student. So uh, it's, I could say it's like fantastic if you decided to come in for the next semester.
So this slide kind of just gives you an overview of our current student population. So right now we have 8,838 total students on campus. So we're about a mid-sized university. We have almost 7,000 undergraduate students and almost 2,000 graduate students. We also have over 1,000 international students representing 60 different countries. So we have a very diverse international student population. Where about 13% of our student population is international students. So not only will you be able to come and make friends with many American students, but you'll also be able to make friends with students from all across the world. I think the diversity of our student population is one of the things that really enhances our campus community. The student to faculty ratio at S&T is 19:1. So that means that students are able to work closely with their professors. You're not just a number in a huge sea of class. You can easily go up to your professor, ask them questions, go to their office hours, get support from them, and your professor will know who you are. And the professors at S&T generally care a lot about our students and want them to be successful. The average class size is about 29 students, and the average lab size is 17 students. So again, with that being said, students are able to get a lot of hands-on experience, and not just learning out of a book, but also being able to learn how to apply the skills they learn in the classroom in the real world. We currently have just over 500 faculty members on campus to help support our students.
So obviously you're here at S&T to study, but there's also a lot of activities that students can participate in outside of class. So there's over 200 student organizations. So that could be anything. There is a swing dancing club. There are student design teams for students to, you can see kind of up at the top of the screen, there's what looks like kind of almost like a little robot. That's a Mars rover that students designed. There are, opportunities to participate in athletic events, all kinds of different things for you to do outside of class, both to make friends, but also a lot of them are really great resume boosters. So we also have, for our international students, there are different kind of international, intercultural organizations. So Salah mentioned earlier that he's the president of the Saudi Student Association. So, there are some of the groups that have a large population here at S&T will have their own kind of group, and they'll do different events. And maybe later, Salah, you can talk about Saudi night. But, but students can put on different events for campus to kind of showcase their culture and share their culture, which is a lot of fun too. Do you want to talk about International Student Club?
Yeah, so one of the organizations that's really popular among our international students, but also our domestic students, is International Student Club. And I always try to encourage our international students to join this organization along with other organizations because it gives you a good chance to make some new friends from other parts of the world. As an international student, sometimes when you come to the United States to study, it's very good to have friends from your own country to help you with that transition. A lot of times you can be a little bit homesick, and having someone who knows exactly what you're going through, is missing the same type of food as you, that can be really comforting. But the most successful students are the ones who have friends from their own country, but also really branch out and try to make friends from other places as well. An International Student Club is a great place to do this. They go on a lot of fun field trips throughout the year. They usually take a trip to an amusement park. They have a Halloween party. And the students in this club become really close and really good, and it's a great support system to help you through your time here at S&T. So one thing that our university does really well is support students and make sure that they are ready for their career after graduation. So on our campus, Hannah mentioned earlier that we have a career service office, and two of the big events that they host are a career fair, one time in the fall and one time in the spring. Last year, we had over 1,000 companies interview students for either internships, co-ops, or full-time employment. One indicator of success for our graduates is their starting salaries after graduation. So the average starting salary for our undergraduate students is over $60,000, and the average starting salary for our graduate students who have a master's or PhD is over $76,000. So that's not 5 or 10 years after graduating. That's the average salary that students make right after graduation, which is very high compared to graduates of other U.S. institutions. The reason that employees are willing to pay such a high salary to our graduates is because they know that they're going to add a lot of value to their organization. When you're looking for a job and your future employer sees that you're a Missouri S&T graduate, they're going to know that not only do you have a great education, but you have the skills that you need to go out and really jump into the workforce and be able to add a lot of value to their organization. These are some pictures of the career fair that we have. The Career Service Office does a lot of different services to help students get ready for the career fair, helping you get your resume in order, helping you prepare for interviews, having networking events. So we really encourage students to take advantage of these opportunities. S&T has over 600 corporate partners and hiring organizations. So these are just a handful of the companies that come to S&T to recruit and we have partnerships with. As you can see, there are some very well-known top organizations. These are the type of companies that our graduates go to work for, and these are the type of companies that you'll have the opportunity to network with when you come to S&T.
Okay, here are like some images from or pictures from the MST events. One of the biggest events here at MST is called Celebration of Nation, and it's actually coming very soon, I think by the end of this year. So it's very good chance for every student, not only international students, to walk around the world in one place. So you could visit any country, enroll here at MST. As you see here, there's like some examples from Saudi Arabia on the list. Also other countries on the right, such as maybe it's like Turkish or maybe one of the Eastern like Asia country. So it's a very good like chance for you, for me, for everybody here, just to see the different culture and to know more information about each country you'd like to visit maybe in the future. So I just encourage you, if you joined us for the like next semester, just try to mark your calendar on September 13th, 2017 to just join us in public place at downtown of Rolla.
So here's a bit of information about the English proficiency requirements for undergraduate students. So students who have earned a 79 on the TOEFL or a 6.0 on the IELTS are not required to take any English. Once they come to S&T, they would start right in their academic courses. If students haven't taken, the TOEFL or the IELTS, or their scores are lower than what is required, then they would need to test at the intensive English program, the IEP, when they come to campus. Based on the results of the test, they might be approved for full-time academics, or they would be required to take time in the English language program. But it's really good for students to have a good foundation in English before they begin academic classes, because the academics here are so good that, even for American students, and English is their first language, it can be difficult to do really well in the courses. So it's great for students to kind of have this, either the 79, the 6.0, or the time in the English language program before they begin academics. Here's a bit about the application process. The application is all online. If you go to apply.mst.edu, there's a $50 application fee for undergraduate students. You'll be required to kind of go through the online application, send in transcripts. You can send scanned copies of your transcripts to this email address, this iarecruit@mst.edu, and Jody monitors this email. So she'll help you out with that if you're able to send your transcripts there. We'll also need a copy of your TOEFL or IELTS score if you'd like to be considered for full admission. If you are planning to take English here anyway, then you can be considered for conditional admission without providing a TOEFL or IELTS score. So you can also, once you submit your application, you can check on it at this HTTPS address at the bottom of your screen, and that will tell you kind of what the status of your application is, where it is in the process, because I know that, at least for me, sometimes when I submit something, I want to hear an answer right away, but being able to check on your status is helpful, and you can check anytime at that address.
So the admission requirements for graduate students are set by each academic department. So each department decides the GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, and IELTS requirement for that individual department. So depending on what area you would like to pursue, you can go to futurestudents.mst.edu and find out the requirements for that department if you're interested in applying for a master's or PhD degree. For graduate students, the application process is similar. You will go to apply.mst.edu to submit your online application. For graduate students, the application fee is $75. But I would also like to know, if you are applying to more than one program, for example, if you're interested in possibly getting a master's in geology and geophysics, but you also apply to petroleum engineering, you would only need to pay that application fee on your first application. And then any additional applications that you submit, you can check the box that says you previously applied to MST, and then your application fee will be waived. For graduate students, you will submit your self-reported GRE or GMAT scores. You don't need the official scores at the time of your application. You'll also submit your self-reported TOEFL or IELTS score. Then you'll upload your electronic transcripts from any post-secondary school students have attended. You'll upload your resume or CV. You'll upload your statement of purpose and include your educational plan. And then you'll enter the names and email addresses of 3 recommenders. This is really important that you let those recommenders know that they will need to take action. Once you submit their names and email addresses, the Graduate Studies Office will send those people an email asking them to submit their recommendation online. So you need to let them know that they'll be receiving this email so they can watch for it. If you find out that perhaps one of the professors that you asked to be a recommender then has to go on field work and maybe doesn't have access to the internet and is unable to submit the recommendation for you, you'll need to submit another name and email address for that recommendation. So if you need to add an additional person, that's not a problem, but be sure to let us know, because your application won't be able to be processed until we get the recommendation of all 3 of those people. Again, you can check your application status online anytime. I would highly recommend that you do this. When you go to look at your application status, if something has been received, it'll have a green check mark by it. If something is still missing, it'll have a red X. And those things that have a red X, those are the things that you need to take care of before your application can be submitted to the department for review. So you'll want to check your application status and make sure that you have all green check marks, and then that will mean that you're good to go.
Okay, so here's a bit of information about the cost of attending. So you can see information for the intensive English program, for undergraduate students, and for graduate students as well. The totals that you see kind of in the middle of the screen that are in red, that is the cost for, an estimated cost for everything that you might need for one academic year. So that's including tuition, that's including your housing, that's including food, that's including anything that you might need, shampoo, books, insurance, anything, that's all included in that red total. That's an estimate. The number that's at the very top of the string of numbers where you see tuition and fees beside it, that's the actual cost, that's the actual amount that you would pay for classes and things like that. So you can kind of see that the cost of living here in Raleigh is very different than the cost of living might be in a really big city, Chicago, New York, Miami. You know, you can get apartments for a lot less money here per month. Even things like restaurants, all of that is a lot less expensive kind of here in the Midwestern region is what it's called. So Missouri is kind of part of that. So that's really helpful for students who are a bit concerned about the cost of university. So that tuition and fees number is the actual number that you would pay for classes.
So after you have been admitted, whether you are a graduate student or undergraduate student, you'll receive an email notification from the Office of Admissions. And that email will state that a decision has been made, and you'll have to go on to click on the link to go find out what that decision is. After you've been admitted, that's when you will need to submit your financial documents. So in order to receive your immigration documents, you must show that you're able to support yourself financially. So your international advisor will contact you about the requirements for this, but you'll need to submit your bank statement, or if you're a sponsored student, a letter from your sponsor showing that sponsorship. After you've submitted your financial documents, your I-20 or DS-2019 will be issued for you, your immigration document, and then that will be mailed to you along with your acceptance letter, and admission material will all be mailed to you. After you receive that, you'll need to schedule your visa appointment with the U.S. consulate. And then if you are interested in applying to live on campus, you will need to contact Residential Life. We have, for undergraduate students, if you're coming as a sophomore or freshman, your first or second year, you will be required to live on campus in our dormitories. We have a variety of different types of dormitories, from ones that are more traditional with bunk beds and more shared living space, to other more apartment style dorms where you have your own individual room and maybe share a kitchen with some roommates. So depending on what your preference is, you can go to reslife.mst.edu to check out what your options are. If you're a graduate student or an upperclassman, you're not required to live on campus. If you're interested, you can contact Res Life, but it's more popular for those type of students to just rent an apartment near campus and live off campus. And then you'll want to be sure that you our new international student orientation before the start of the semester. This is a day where all of our new international students come and you get an overview of what you need to do to maintain your immigration status. You're also introduced to other offices on campus, so you know where to go to pay your bill, where the library is located, what you need to do when you're sick. You can get all those type of questions answered.
Okay, so this is just a fun picture. Every fall when students come in, we have a big kind of welcome event, the International Student Picnic. But we put this picture in here just so that you can kind of see that, you know, when students come to campus, there's already a community here to welcome them and to support them. And, you know, it's easy to kind of make friends because there's, you know, a lot of people who have similar experiences and things like that as you. So anyways, this picture is just to kind of show you that that S&T has a, you know, kind of a welcoming community and lots of fun events.
All right, I'm gonna hop back to this after admission page. I just wanna mention one more important thing. So after you have been admitted, you will need to submit, if you're an undergraduate and you haven't submitted your official transcripts yet, you'll need to do that before you're able to enroll. So you'll need to speak to your high school and ask them to mail official transcripts to our Office of Admissions. If you are a graduate student, after you've been admitted, you will need to request your official GRE or GMAT scores be submitted, your official TOEFL or IELTS scores be submitted, along with your transcripts. So while an admission decision can be made on your unofficial documents, after admission, you'll need to be sure to get all those official documents in.
Okay. So I put this picture in here. Salah is very involved on campus, and he teaches an Arabic class. So this is just a snapshot from the graduation ceremony, but we wanted to give him a chance to kind of talk about how he decided to come to S&T and what his experience has been like since he arrived.
Oh yeah, you called me back like 4 years ago. I honestly read some information. I read some information before I came here to MST, so I found that MST does support my field, my major as well. So I read a lot of information about geophysics because, you know, I'm interested in this field. I did contact the former president for the international office was doing Nasser, I could say. So I did call him, asked him some questions about city, and he just emailed me every information that I need. After a long time of talking to my family, talking to my parents, I just decided to come to Rolla. Believe me, in the beginning, you know, it was kind of shock, but after while I found Rolla is very safe environment for me, for my family. So I just decided to continue my program and also to work on some volunteer programs, such as learning or teaching interested students my language. So I could say, if you would like to do your hobby or to do your wish, just do it, because you know besides your job as a student, you will have time to work on alternative programs, and that's what I could say right now.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so if you have any additional questions, we can take those now. If you want to put them in the chat box here. And also feel free to contact either Hannah or myself. You can contact me at iarecruit@mst.edu. This is Jody. And for Hannah, you can send her an email at iasss@mst.edu. We also have a lot of great information on our website at international.mst.edu. So we have a question, is the process the same for online programs? So if you are interested in taking, there's actually two options. So if you're interested in getting your entire degree through our distance education, they have a separate application. So if you send me an email, I can be sure to get you that information. Our distance courses are recorded. So if you take a distance class, it is kind of like a videotape of the professor in class teaching the class. And then as a distance student, you can either log in and watch that recording live, or you can watch the recording later at your own convenience. But with distance education, it's really great because you're covering the exact same information as you were if you were on-campus student. You're having the same type of professors, the same quality of teaching methods, and the degree that you get is the same type of degree. So our distance education students, their diploma looks exactly the same as our students who took the classes here on campus. But we also, for our on-campus students, some classes are offered online. So if that's the case, you can take some online classes while you're an on-campus student. You'll just need to be sure to talk to your international advisor to make sure that you're maintaining your immigration status. You are allowed to take online classes, but I think there's a limit to the amount that you can take as an international student. So, are there any other questions? Feel free to type them down in there. All right, well, that's all the information that we have for you guys today. We really appreciate you joining us. Oh, we got a question. Are there any kind of blended programs? I know that we have some blended courses. If you are wanting to, like online, on-site, okay. I will, off the top of my head, I'm not sure if we offer those, but again, if you can please send me an email, I will definitely do some investigating and find out if that is something that we offer for our students. No problem. All right. So again, thank you all for joining us. Please feel free to reach out to myself or Hannah or Saleh if you have any questions, and we hope to welcome you to Missouri S&T someday. So thank you and have a great day.